We're the first to get our hands on the brand new Milwaukee FORGE batteries, and we put them to the test.
New tools were announced by Ryobi and Spyder.
We've got failing sanders, nailers, impacts, 5-way welders, homemade tools, and high fashion for the workshop.
Plus another platinum tool deal from Ohio Power Tool.
This is the Tool Show.
Welcome back, Tool fans. I'm Sarah, that's Rob, and this is a very special episode of the Tool Show because of these. Yes, we may be the very first to get our hands on the new M18 FORGE 8 and 12 amp hour batteries.
And this saw is pretty cool too.
But before we get to these, let's get into the tool news. First up, Ryobi. This is the all-new Tri-Power Tripod LED light. This 3800 lumen tower light extends up to 7 feet and has a 135-degree pivoting head. But the most notable feature is the 3 different options for powering it. You can use either an 18-volt 1+ battery, a 40-volt battery, or plug it into an outlet with an extension cord. I love that. But it doesn't stop there. That 3800 lumen light can be detached and used separately from the tripod. The tripod can then be connected to other Ryobi products like additional LED lights, speakers, or even their fans. Very clever idea. The Tri-Power Tripod LED light will be available next month for $199.
Ryobi also announced 2 new additions to their USB lithium line, including a new 4-in-1 stapler nailer kit that can drive light-duty and heavy-duty staples, round crown staples, and even 18-gauge brad nails up to 5/8 inch. It's super small, has an LED work light, and even has a low staple or nail indicator, so you know when it's time to reload. It'll cost $79 when it arrives next month.
And finally, a new USB lithium high-volume inflator that boasts up to 14 standard cubic feet per minute, making it ideal for pool toys, beach balls, and even a twin air mattress in under 90 seconds. It will arrive in August for $39.97.
SPYDER just launched an addition to their line of oscillating blades, but these are no normal blades. These tri-plated carbide blades make up to 60 times more cuts than standard bimetal blades and up to 10 times more cuts than standard carbide blades. They're perfect for both plunge and lateral cuts in wood, nails, screws, PVC, and more. They feature a universal fit arbor, which means they'll work in most fine, Bosch, DeWalt, Milwaukee, Makita, Rigid, Ryobi, SKIL, Cobalt, and Dremel multi-tools, just to name a few. This kit includes 3 1 3/8 inch blades and will cost $64.98 when they arrive in Lowe's later this month.
Your eyes do not deceive you. These are the all-new M18 FORGE batteries featuring tagless cells for the very first time.
We got these on loan from our friends at Ohio Power Tool, and we only get to keep them for a couple of days, so we naturally rushed down to our toolless lab to see how they performed. And we were absolutely shocked by what we found.
We knew to get a useful test we'd need a few more batteries, so we grabbed an XC 5.0, an XC 6.0 high output, an HD 12.0 high output, and of course last year's 6.0 FORGE, which has lithium pouch technology.
We also grabbed a Milwaukee 2903, a SPYDER Stinger power bit, a fresh block of Abu Modulon, and we got to work.
First was a 5.0, which averaged 4.18 seconds per hole. Next was a high output XC 6.0, which averaged 2.62 seconds. And finally, the high output HD 12.0, the old performance leader, which averaged 1.95 seconds.
On to the FORGE. The FORGE XC 6.0 with lithium pouch technology launched last year and promised to be as good as the much larger HD 12.0. In our test, it averaged 2.02, just about matching the 12.
Next was the all-new FORGE XC 8.0, which averaged 1.6 seconds. Absolutely crazy.
But nothing prepared us for the new FORGE HD 12.0. This monster ran the exact same drill, exact same bit, through the exact same material with the exact same pressure in a staggering 1.08 second average. When we convert these numbers to holes per hour, we're talking about a 287% performance increase over the standard XC 5.0 battery. And remember, this is just the FORGE battery.
The 2903 clearly does better with the new batteries, but as we pointed out in our pipeline episode, Milwaukee didn't just improve the batteries.
This is the all-new Gen 3 M18 Fuel 7¼ inch circular saw. Now inside this thing is a next-generation brushless power state motor and next-gen red link electronics. When combined with these new FORGE batteries, you really get to experience the next generation of Milwaukee.
We're still trying to figure out the best way to test this saw before we have to give it back on Monday.
If we find a way to show it off, we'll be sure to show it to you next week, and our production crew here on YouTube and Patreon will get an early look.
So I want to know, if Milwaukee can make these kinds of improvements with just a battery, is that enough to make you go red? Let me know in the comments.
Playing with new tech is always fun, but we have a few tool videos we want to share with you that we think you'll want to watch this weekend. First up, Matt over at 731 Woodworks reviewed a new $450 sander from 3M way back in September of 2022, and the response was really good. But recently, he's heard about a significant problem with the sander from several viewers who bought it and put it to work. This week, he dives deep to not only find the issue, but determine if it can be fixed. Be sure to check it out.
Mark Thomas Builder is back outside, this time testing the all-new rigid 15-gauge nailer with the new clean drive technology.
Taylor with Tinker with Tools got a hold of the new DeWalt high-torque impact driver, the DCF 860, and without spoiling the details, Taylor said it was well worth the wait.
Dak over at Last Best Tool picked up one of the new DeWalt folding utility knives that we recently featured here on the Tool Show. And while he said it cuts fine, there is one flaw that might change your mind about buying one.
One of our channel members pointed me to Make and Test, where a couple weeks ago they unboxed and tested an unusual 5-in-1 multi-welder. The Stalwork CTM 250 ST Digital is a plasma cutter, MIG, TIG, and MMA welder all in one. Now, I personally haven't done any welding in some time, but watching him play with this thing had me gathering scrap metal and looking for a welding mask.
No.
Why not?
You have enough tools, Rob.
Wrong.
Moving on to another channel we just discovered called Start Making Woodworking. And this week they built 10 handmade tools for their workshop, and there were more than a few gems in there.
And finally, we're a sucker for a great tool vest, and this week over on Morgan's Maintenance, he purchased the Atlas 46 1824 tool vest, and not only does it look extremely functional, it also features a mesh fabric that makes it more comfortable in the heat. He says that as a daily driver, the vest is an absolute winner, but there's one big reason he thinks you might want to pass. Head over to Morgan's Maintenance to find out why.
All right, it's time again for another Platinum Tool deal from Ohio Power Tool. Every week, we share an exclusive coupon code that saves you a ton of money, but only works for the first 25 people to use it. This week, you can get $50 off a $100 or more purchase of any in-stock hand tools.
But you'll have to be fast. To make sure you have the best shot each week, be sure to not only subscribe to us, but click the bell notification so you don't miss it. The code you need this week is TS732015. Good luck.
I want to thank Flex, SKIL, SPYDER, Tested HQ, and Ohio Power Tool for continuing to support our show and our community of tool fans. We could not do this without you.
If you can, do something kind for a neighbor this weekend, and Sarah and I will see you next week.